Welcome back to another late night session of Dark Souls 3. I was just taking a little nap down here, deciding on where exactly we should be heading next. There are a few things that I'll probably do towards the end of the game. But for now, I think making progress is more important than running around picking up treasures. So in that regard, let's get things done. I've managed to get quite a bit further than this in my secondary save, so my point for that would be to try catch up. There are a few items that are located in this particular area that I'll probably come back and collect later, but definitely not today, for the sake of progress. Oh, I would like us to continue. Almost died for some arrows. But luckily enough, this is actually quite a short area, this profane capital. When I was doing it, I was actually shocked that it's very packed with information, well, at least potential information, as you're going with it, considering the fact that we have a boss here. And besides that, it's straight to the point. I actually wish that most of the areas of this game were straight to the point. I found that oh my goodness. I found that I've kind of lost my patience for most games these days. Well, not most games, to be honest with you, that's a lie. I've lost my patience for this particular game, as everyone might already know my current point of view of this game. If more places were straight to the point, packed with lore and packed with exploration and immediate satisfaction, instead of there have been some areas of this game, I swear, that they were just filler, and to be honest with you, I felt like they were a waste of time. Key being the Cathedral of the Deep, the introductory area, should I say, felt very filler. That area I didn't like at all, and there are quite a lot of areas in this game I just plain and simple didn't like, but at least with this one we'll be receiving quite a significant chunk of lore items, and they're quite cool. And in that regard, at least we can have some fun. Let's switch out rings and hopefully not get destroyed by these sorcerers over here. And the final one. Now let's see, we've got some undead bone, undead hunter charms, or should I just call them Lloyd's talismans for the sake of. We got a double whammy this time round. We got ourselves 2 mimics. Get the Great Shield of Glory and more rusted coins. This place is packed with rusted coins. I'm trying to figure out the significance of it, but for now let's just check out what this Great Shield of Glory is all about. A great shield adorned with flowing patterns, a celebration of ancient glory. Boasts the highest ability of such shields, but with reduced stamina regeneration. I would assume that's a very bad thing to have. Perhaps it is glory that begets indolence. I'm not really sure what that shield is a reference to. If it was in a previous game, then I've definitely forgotten it. The boss fog is this way, but let's just make a few errand runs this way. Get more rusted coins. And in the beginning I thought that this was a lord vessel, as I was thinking that the profane capital is the kiln. At least I felt that the architecture was similar. I still think the architecture is similar to the kiln of the first flame in some way, but this is definitely not a lord vessel. Considering the fact that in Dark Souls 2 we actually found the lord vessel smashed at the basement of Medulla, I would assume that there are multiple lord vessels. So in that regard, I'm actually confused. The significance of this place, its location, I don't really know where exactly this is. And I think knowing this place is quite significant in understanding the lore of the area, but for now I can't really say too much. Not a lord vessel, but there's burning flame. Place is littered with gargoyles. And one very important boss. Very interesting. The only thing I can say before we go in is that I don't know if this was an intended reference, but this kind of reminds me of the old hero boss fight in Demon Souls. This is Yhorm the giant. You can see at his feet there's an item I would like to collect. For now, let's just get him closer. And make a big run for this. Storm Ruler! Demon Souls weapon from the Storm King boss fight. That's actually quite... The first time I saw it, I was like, what? The Storm Ruler's in the game! And the nice thing is about the Storm Ruler is that in Demon Souls it had a very special effect at the Storm King boss fight, or the boss room, that particular location, the Shrine of Storms. It could, well, I can't say it could shoot, but you could channel the wind. So I thought to myself, what's the significance of this sword? As trying to fight Yhorm yields nothing, you deal pathetic damage. But then as you read this, it will tell you that the great sword with a broken blade, also known as the giant slayer for the residual strength of storm that brings giants to their knees. Yhorm the giants once held 2 of these, but gave one to the humans who doubted him, and left the other to a dear friend before facing his fate as a Lord of Cinder. Skill, Storm King, assume stands to imbue sword with storm. So, I don't know. It says that, first of all, Yhorm the giant held 2. He had 2 Storm Ruler swords. They were his. But gave one to the humans who doubted him. So, for some reason, he was not treated as a lord, or at least treated with respect. Potentially because he was a giant. So humans didn't seem to have a great affinity or a great respect for giants. So since the humans disrespected him, I would assume he gave them the Storm Ruler as a challenge, that if you think you can defeat me, then you can use this sword to come try kill me, because it's the Giant Slayer sword, right? And you can see all the corpses that are littered outside, and inside this boss room you can see he's been killing humans and other entities for eons and eons. And it says he left the other to a dear friend before facing his fate as a Lord of Cinder. Now those words I can't really tell. It means either the dear friend got the sword from Yhorm and then faced his fate as a Lord of Cinder, or Yhorm gave him the sword, and then Yhorm went to go face his fate as the Lord of Cinder. I don't know. The English text in that confuses me. But if you assume stance, you may still attack normally. But the real key thing is to charge the stance until you imbue the weapon with storm. And when you do so, the Storm Ruler lives. So, very, very exciting weapon.
Welcome. Very well. Then take.
Let's pump up some endurance and move.
Farewell, Ashen Mist.
And we go fight the boss. Let's see what our rolling is like. It's actually quite bad. How's about now? Still bad. And we've got Havels on. That's actually quite shocking. Okay, we're better now. Gonna have to try and make a run for the boss without attacking anyone. Interestingly enough, this blade has 0/0 stat requirements, so any build can use this. The only thing is that the scaling is DD. So I'd assume that only a true strength and dex quality build can benefit anything from this blade outside of this bonfight. This boss fight, not bonfight. What? That clipped me? There's some nonsense going on with these things. But yeah, you can see all these dead bodies burnt to cinder by Yhorm. He's been killing for a long time. This is definitely not his first fight. Oh my goodness, he hit me. Nope. Got him. Need to get outside the reach of his legs. Let's bring him on down this way instead of getting stuck. I hate that roll. Missed. Wow. Am I gonna die at this fight? Okay, let's see what we can do. There we go. Get up, Yhorm, get up. Ah, come on. It's just lock-on problems. Missing it again. The sad thing is, things always go badly when I'm recording. I never encountered such bad play when I was just playing by myself. But hopefully we'll get him 2 more hits. Nope. That didn't miss. And the final blow. The Storm Ruler, quite an amazing sword. Get the cinders of a lord and the sword of Yom.
Unkindled one. The fire fades and awaits its one last lord. Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul.
Very interesting situation. Before we continue with this, I actually think it's a good idea just to head back, level up, use our souls, and then we'll be right back. Sorry for all this teleporting, but it's actually a bit necessary for me right now. So we've encountered quite a interesting predicament. Let's take another grand view of all the lords that we have found so far. So we've beaten Lothric, the Saint of the Deep. Those are his ashes. Lothric never actually left. He was the one who stayed true to being a sacrifice to be kindled for the next flame. The Farron Undead Legion deserted their throne. Yom the Giant of the Profane Capital will be returned to his throne. Now that would only leave one last throne that awaits its king, should I say. And that's Holy Knight, or should I say Holy King Lothric, last hope of his line. Now the interesting thing about that is we've been reading quite a number of texts about Guinevere. She left, she got married to the fire god Flan, and they had children. And then we heard about this Queen Lothric, who too married a king and had children, and Ocelot was the last of his line, the last hope of his line, should I say. And there've been a bit of tie-ins with Guinevere being Queen Lothric, or at least in some sense Guinevere's soul and Queen Lothric's soul are intertwined. So would that mean Ocelot, Queen Lothric's youngest son, or Guinevere's youngest son, whichever it may be, is the last of their line? So that would mean Guinevere's husband, or should I say Queen Lothric's husband, is the last throne we need to take. And if that's the case, that would mean that the son, Ocelot, is probably being held by his father for some reason. If that were to be true, that would be another Demon Souls reference, besides the Storm Ruler and Yom the Giant and the old hero boss similarities, because in the end of Demon Souls there was a similar situation where Prince found out that his king, his father, was actually the bad guy. So
Welcome. Very well then.
and in that case we had to go save him, but it was a bit too late. So
Farewell, Ashen Morning.
I actually think this save is more higher level than my other save. I'm not too sure why that's the case, but let's throw that away. We're gonna try bleed this boss. Might not work out too well, but at least that's my game plan. One thing I need to do is buy arrows though. I don't know, wait, actually I believe on this save I have quite the number of arrows, but as you can see I've used most of them. So instead we are going to restock and see what we can do. If I can actually find where the arrows are. Dark arrows, feather arrows, wood arrows. I guess feather arrows is what we're gonna have to deal with for now.
Ashen.
I wonder, can we upgrade this in any way? No. We need one more chunk. And Grey Rat seems to be gone for good. Who knows where Grey Rat is right now? Let's check out what we can make with the soul that we got and move on.
Aha, thou return soon.
That's Pontiff Sullivan. Profaned Greatsword. A ceremonial sword held by Pontiff Sullivan's right hand. I believe we've already read that. Okay, here we go. Yorm's Great Machete. Great Machete wielded long ago by Yorm the Giant. Yorm once lumbered on the front lines with a great shield, but one day, in place of his shield, a left-hand notch was added to his machete, enabling the smashing technique that would become the legacy of his later years. Great hammer wielded by Vort, the Outrider Knight of the Boreal Valley. Weapon is imbued with frost and causes frostbite. Frost accumulates in the body, causing blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Yorm's Great Shield. A great shield used long ago by Yorm the Giant increases the user's poise. As a lord, Yorm risked everything and fought unflinchingly as a one-man vanguard. Following the loss of the one he wished to protect, he forsook his shield. So that could tie in with the fact that he gave one of the Storm Ruler's swords to the humans, and then he said, and then the text said that he gave one of the Storm Ruler's swords to a dear friend before facing his fate as a Lord of Cinder. So I would assume that dear friend was the friend he ended up losing, the friend he couldn't protect, and hence why in his boss room one of the Storm Ruler swords is still there with him. That's the one he gave his friend, and I'm assuming when his friend died he took the sword back. The one that he gave to the humans must still be with the humans and could be the one in Boletaria. Who knows? I love the way the time of day or the ambient lighting has changed throughout the entirety of the game. The sun is now blood red. If only we could get a better view of it, but don't worry about that, we actually will. So you can see we went down to the undead settlement. That's where the Great Greywood was, at the very top there. That's the tower in which the giant was. That's the forest down below. That's the Cathedral of the Deep. You actually get a great overview of the first half of the game just by looking down at this particular place. You see every single location. It's quite awesome. But for now, let's head on to the important stuff. I hope I won't die to this boss a lot. A little foreshadowing, I guess. Let's see, what rings can we use? Very interesting situation when it comes to rings. At the cost of defense. How much defense do you lose from this ring is the question. Let's try it out.
Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul. Tell him what he must be, a lord.
And you get the Basin of Vows. Chalice used in the old ceremony in which Lothric knights take their vows. It's only a formality now, but remains as an empty practice. Place this basin at a statue of a beheading knight. Now that I think about it, I actually forgot to read the description of Yhorm's soul. That was extremely my fault. Or at least the cinder of his head. But here's so. The soul of Yhorm the giant, one of the twisted souls steeped in strength. Yhorm is the descendant of an ancient conqueror, but was asked by the very people once subjugated to lead them, serving as both a weighty blade and a stone-hard shield. So he defeated the people, and through his strength, they were like, "Hey man, lead us." And that's the dancer of the Boreal Valley. Let's take this chance to buff up. Oh, come on. Dead. I hate that boss. I hate the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. I hate her with all my heart. I was this close to just calling the episode quits as soon as I beat her after dying like, I think I died 5 times. I dare say I've died 5 straight times, 5 or 6. It was a ridiculous amount. And to be honest with you, I have lost a lot of my energy just trying to do that boss. The first time I did it in my previous save, I only died once. I killed her on my second try. It was mostly by luck. But this time round, I guess she really wanted to show me who the true dancer is. But let's read what her soul has to say. Soul of the Dancer. The Pontiff Sullivan bestowed a double slashing sword upon a distant daughter of the former royal family, ordering her to serve first as a dancer and then as an outrider knight, the equivalent to exile. So the daughter of the former royal family, I'm not too sure which royal family that may be. Whoever the previous rulers of Lothric were, I'm not too sure. Right now I'm trying to figure out how the dragons are gonna fit into the story of this game. So far we've seen a few wyverns or drakes. I'm not too sure if those are actual fully grown dragons. But they really haven't done much or said much about dragons in this entirety of this game, or at least that's what I think. Damn, this bow's heavy. Where's the composite? Still heavy. Guess we're going to have to change leggings. Now we're good. But like I said, I don't know how exactly the dragons are going to fit into this. But I'm assuming King Lothric, the potential son of Queen Lothric, probably, hopefully, as we are trying to solve their story out, will give us some information about what exactly the dragons have to do with anything. Oh, come on, stop healing. There we go. The strategy I pulled up with these guys is actually quite basic. I wonder if it will work again. They can't actually pass this door. This door is a barrier, and if you bring them to that threshold, you can make them walk back into their leash and then bring them back to the door, rinse, repeat. So pretty much that's it. Bait them to the door, they'll leash, you kick, and pretty much that's all you do. They'll just keep on leashing. Oh, it didn't actually stagger from that. I don't know why. Probably a little too much of his stamina to get back. Because I do have to say that this particular location, these knights can be a problem, as they are buffed and they have these priests that keep on buffing them. We find a corpse here next to a blade, and funnily enough, it's a soul of a crestfallen warrior. I don't know if there's any significance to that. As you can see, this is like a memorial grave area for the souls of probably fallen Lothric knights. Okay, kill him before he manages to buff his friends. And then we can pull his friends back here. Usually there's 2 of them. I don't know where the second one went to. I'm going to have to do this in extremely slow motion. At least we still have his attention. Leash. There we go. He usually leashes to the side. I don't know why. Probably because his source of origin is that way, not the center of the room, so. Okay, there's the second one. What? Does anybody know what happened? What? Okay. I'm assuming that's another glitch. Leash? I guess he might have fallen through the earth. I have no idea where that other knight went to. Let's just hope it doesn't come back to bite us. Probably find him in a weird location now. Oh, there he is. How the hell did he even get there? Welcome to Dark Souls 3, I guess is all I can say. We've had our fair share of glitches. I even documented one and put it up on the channel just to show some of the ridiculous things that can happen in this game. You could potentially drop back down this way, but I don't know why you'd even want to do that. Is that a mimic? No, it's not. And we get the robe, hood of prayer, and the robe of prayer. Can hear closely. We can pick up the sounds of, oh, got another chunk. Can hear the sound of something bellowing up on the roof. Probably a future enemy that we'll need to deal with. But for now, let's deal with the enemies that are at hand. Funnily enough, these undead soldiers that are here don't seem to have a lot of HP, but when it comes to dealing damage, they do deal significant amounts of damage and another chunk. That's really good. So I would advise that you don't get hit. Not that there's ever a good time to get hit, but I think you know what I'm saying. Is it not gonna drop? Hoping I could shoot him in the belly. Okay. I'm assuming we got your attention, big boy. Come on here, big boy. I have no idea where he is. Hello? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I have no idea what's wrong, but this should wake him up. Yeah, come down this way. That's where I want to fight you. I guess not. Oh well. Okay. This is where we die. Not that that's a new thing in this playthrough. Okay. At least is now being kind. He's actually coming. Oh. Seems to have quite a lot of HP, considering his size, and nope. Get winged knight twin axes. Let's check out what's going on with these. A paired beheaded axes wielded by the winged knights who swore themselves to the angels. These axes, more befitting of an executioner than a knight, are indented to fit the human body. They swore themselves to the angels. Which angels exactly did they swear themselves to, and for what purpose? That I don't actually know. Oh, there's nothing up here. Ambush up that way. That's the things that you have to be careful of, those big ambushes. Those are the things of the devil, I tell you. Almost got killed. Okay, we can't heal, but I knew for a fact this guy was still here. Oh no, how long is this gonna last? I'm not even gonna take any chances with this guy and watch me get hit from the back. Come on, Lloyds. Don't do this to me. What? There we go. It's funny how they're throwing upgrade materials for us. I love these things flying in the distance. And we get to see the blood red moon. Blood red sun, should I say. Striking resemblance to the dark sign. Let's take a rest over here, but firstly, and pick up this ember. We lost quite a few of those fighting the Dancer of the Boreal Valley bullshit boss fight. Let's go pick up that item and I guess we can call it a video. Now there's only one dragon here, but as you cross the bridge the second one will come out, so you need to be careful. You can't, I don't believe you can actually cross the bridge immediately, but there's a place you'd like to drop off. And just down here. Titanite. Get a titanite chunk. And get another chunk. Decent pickups for now. Should be able to upgrade at least one of your weapons to a decent level. Get some more twinkle sprinkle. Wow, that's a lot of damage. That's the thing, is that sometimes these erratic attacks, all fair and fine, they may be quick because the weapons they're using are quick, but the damage they do is just ridiculous sometimes. Get another large soul. Be meeting up with another friend up this way. Going to have to dance. If he can actually face us. Oh, what? Okay. Thank you. I think today is just a terrible day, to be honest. Yep. And couldn't agree less. At least he gave us a chance for a backstab. Now just attack. That's all I want you to do, is just attack. Get another winged weapon. And the final pickup for this particular section will be the sniper crossbow. Thought it was just a Thomas kind of throwback, but sadly it wasn't. A long-ranged heavy crossbow used by Kareem snipers. Its lengthy base makes aiming difficult, and accurate usage requires trained, dexterous hands. 18-16 requirement in strength and dex, respectively. And I guess for now that would have to be it. I really need to have to sleep, and I do apologize for the lack of commentary because I truly am tired. It's 2 AM in the morning and we've dealt with the dancer of the Boreal Valley. So in that case, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.